Hey guys, welcome to the third set Nostalgia Tour, by the way. If you go to teamliquid.net and check their forums, you can find out more about this. This is, I guess, on Nostalgia. That has to be the only reason they played this map, because this is a really, I hate to say it, but this is a bad map otherwise. Because again, no gas on the secondary. I've had a fourth of beer to increase my commentating powers. I think that puts it at twofold now. Every time I have a beer, it makes it all the better. Donate to Child's Play charity, of course, broodwar.chipin.com, or if you check my YouTube main page, and I cast this live, so special shout out to everybody that has been kind of viewing in the corner there on JustinTV/Diggity. I'm going to try to actually do live casts more often this way. We have Idra starting in the upper left-hand corner as the, let me take map reveal off, as the green Terran bottom right-hand corner. Actually, I'm going to do a color switch here, because otherwise that's going to get really confusing. So, and unfortunately they both showed up as yellow, so never mind. Bottom right-hand corner as the teal protoss, we have JF, and let's see if JF can pull this out, because game one he had a really good fight. That last match he was doing pretty well, but Idra able to get the containment, able to breach that secondary, and let's see, I think that's going to be Idra's game plan from now on. Again, I think he's kind of getting, just because you don't have that gas in the secondary, you kind of have to realize, okay, I got to go for more of that early all-in rush build towards the beginning of the game to establish position, win it from there. JF, I guess that's the other reason he's going Dark Templar, is he's more concerned about those sort of builds, even though I feel like Reavers are better for the mid-game, and specifically better because you can get the Observers out faster to deal with the Vultures after that. He wants to try to stop those early cheesy rushes or stop the fast expansions, and the quickest, easiest way to do that for Protoss is transitioning into Dark Templar. Anyway, on the side note, again, donate to Child's Play charity. I think I've decided off every $500, basically. So off the $1,000, and if we get to $1,500, I guess I'll up it to a 2-beer commentary at that point. But if we do hit 1,000, I'll do a 1-beer commentary off of a live cast, probably the WCG games. Looks like Idra not doing anything too cheesy, is leaving his front door open once again, doing the refinery. And this will really pay off at cross positions, leaving that front door open for mobility reasons. Looks like JF getting that scout a little bit after the fact. I think he was hoping to say, oh, close position, be able to sneak in on that front door blockade. Unfortunately, the front door blockade not really there. And this might be an indicator that we might even see a pure 2-factory push here from Idra, just because he's leaving that front door open. I know it's got to be frustrating for him. Again, playing on a map where Terran is really weak into the mid-game, because again, you don't have that advantage with the gas, and I almost feel like Protoss ends up being stronger once again because those Speed Zealots, as soon as Speed Zealot legs kick in, that's just absolutely huge on this map. And it really just kind of swings the balance back altogether. The only, it's at least not as bad as I would say Zerg versus Terran, because Zerg versus Terran, it's really brutal on Zerg players. You almost have to, I'd say, go all in Ling attacks almost every match and just pray to win. Looks like Idra is going to go for a fast expansion once again. It's possible, we'll see how many Marines he decides to produce. It's possible he will go for an FE. But keeping the SCVs off gas, looks like he's going to try to put down that command center sooner rather than later. That's that first Marine to try to get that probe scout out of the way, and I think this probe scout is going to actually get killed before it can exit the base, because that second Marine is going to be out before it can really swing around past. Let's see, getting trapped in, and it's going to be a dash for the ramp. JF going to be able to make it, actually, so nice on JF's part, able to get that scout out of there. Idra seeing what he wants to see in the meantime, seeing that one gate, this time actual range here for JF instead of fake range. I think Idra is going to be a little bit more wary of it this time, though, trying to keep that SCV scout in as long as possible. Transitioning it around here and there, it looks like he's getting blocked a little bit in the probe lines. It looks like a pylon in the bottom right-hand corner, and actually able to kill that SCV scout very quickly while it was kind of mixed in with those probes. So JF going to be able to play a little bit with Idra in the dark here. Let's see what he decides to do, if he's going to go one gate. I can't assume he's going to go one gate into expansion here, because I feel like that would be even more riskier than the Templar builds that he's been doing thus far. Probe transitioning across the midfield. Again, it looks like he wants to try to go in and sneak in and scout a little bit more, at least get a good look at how many Marines are going to be out in the field. Looks like he stopped at the 3 Marine production, and it's going to be probably, it looks like, going for the command center first, 3 Marines, tank, so playing a little bit safer. And again, I think it's a mistake on this map, because this map does not reward the safe economic play, and it looks like JF is going to go one gate into expansion, play a little bit risky here. He's going to have the 2 Dragoons. I guess he's going to try to rely on specifically these ramps to try to provide defense for him. This is going to pay off, though, since it looks like Idra is playing a little bit safer. Idra actually building the command center up above and still instead of on the ground, producing a second tank now, and the engineering bay worried about Dark Templar after those first 2 games. It almost feels like this is one of those situations where fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, shame on you sort of thing. And Idra is really kind of befuddled and is kind of been kind of led along the path to think that JF is going to go for another DT harass. And he's also going to be in the dark because keep in mind these Dragoons also going to easily block off SCVs that are trying to come in here and get a scout. He's not going to have any idea whether JF is trying to fake, actually there's a proxy robotics facility, he's not going to have any idea whether JF's trying to fake a second expansion, whether JF is just kind of showing him what he wants to see, and instead it looks like he's going to go for a proxy, I assume Reaver drop here. Robotics facility at proxy location where it's actually kind of hard to spot out there because even on the mini map here you can see it kind of looks like just part of the mineral artifacts. I don't think Idra has really any reason to try to move out there and try to scout it, and again I think he's going to be a little bit light. Let's see if he's actually producing a ton of siege tanks right here really early on, so he should be in a pretty good defensive position off the bat to kind of deal with this Reaver harass. But keep in mind JF very good with his Reavers. I'm not surprised he's going back to his bread and butter to deal with it, and critically I think this is very important right here. Get the Dragoon position and get pylons actually right there to block that back door as quickly as possible. And I think that Reaver will give him, well, even if he doesn't manage to go in and get a lot of kills with it, I think that Reaver and that shuttle will provide him, actually building the shuttle right now. Let's see if he moves the Dragoons up in position just as an elevator, because it looks like he's getting aggressive and moving some Dragoons up to the front door as well, and he's still got 2 probes here towards the forward position. A lot of siege tanks though, and a lot of Marines out. Looks like that second factory being produced, as well as Vulture speed. Idra might not just know what's coming altogether. Looks like that probe scout might make a mad dash and try to see at least what's on that front door before these Dragoons kind of press forward. But yeah, that shuttle going to be all finished. Looks like we actually are going to see a Reaver to follow it. There's a robotics facility being built in the main rather than at proxy location, which is actually intelligent, just in case you lose that in the mid-game. But again, this is, I think, the stronger build on Nostalgia is Dragoons plus Reavers playing that contained match. It's very difficult as a Terran opponent to try to press out against this, even while Protoss is taking a third, because you don't have those abundant siege tanks to really continue to press through, things like that. It looks like that observer, I'm sorry, that SCV scout going out to scout is going to see this probe. Let's see if they get in a probe on probe fight. Probe on SCV, run, probe, run. Ends up getting killed, so free kill there for Idra. And already setting up pylons to the north here. So it looks like he's thinking about taking that 9 o'clock expansion. I'm going to have to be extra careful here, keeping an eye on, because green and teal are pretty close, and I think Idra is very capable of sneaking things out, those SCV scouts out. Some Dragoons engaging these Vultures out here in the mid-map, and it looks like, oh, JF not really in position, but this is actually going to work out well for him, because he's now sending this, while these Vultures are running out to harass, which I think they are going to get some kills across the secondary. I think this is going to be distracting to Idra here at the main, and it looks like, yeah, he's going to be trying to do a couple things at once. It looks like he is able to get these Vultures all the way into the main, so we're going to get a lot of probe kills in those. Wow, those Dragoons completely out of position. So Idra, nice little micro there, able to take it out. Not seeing the shuttle. I hope that shuttle didn't get taken out here in the meantime, or maybe it just got backed off. Yeah, it looks like it just got backed out. So a pretty sizable victory here for Idra. First of all, he knows that shuttle's coming along the way. Looks like he stopped that gas production once again and emptied that JF's main here of a lot of probes. Looks like JF's still in position to try to take that base. He needs to preserve this shuttle desperately. Let's see if he's going to swing it back around. It looks like some Vultures now scouting that bottom left-hand corner. Lost track of that. There's the shuttle. Once again, now 2 Reavers in the mix. Let's see what kind of damage they can wreak. JF needs to have a good harass now that his main's been hit pretty hard, and he's going to be delayed on taking that third base. Critically, while this is happening, looks like the Vulture was able to sneak into that top right base in the meantime. 3 siege tanks, 3 Marines there, but wow, using the high ground, beautiful play here, using the high ground to work with that mid chance, going to be able to take out all tanks. Big mistake on Idra's part. Let's see if he's got lucky right there. He's lucky he didn't end up losing those siege tanks, and now getting a little bit too, wow, getting really aggressive. All the Dragoons pressing in, needs to preserve that shuttle though, dumping both Reavers, loses the shuttle, so he's going to have to do it here, loses both Reavers, moving in with all these Dragoons, so JF committing a huge attack, so he needs to win it, needs to pick off that siege tank to the north. It looks like that engineering bay creating some targeting problems in the meantime. Nice little blockade there. It looks like he is going to be able to kill that siege tank to the north, but there's still siege tanks, 2 siege tanks, 1 siege tank on the ramp, a mine being planted. Nice pick off there by JF. Let's see if he can get that additional hit. And it looks like a siege tank coming in to support, but JF continuing to breach up the ramp. Three Dragoons versus a single tank, but no reinforcements coming, so I'm not sure how long this is going to last. So I think the SCVs coming off the line should be able to defend this fairly easily, and critically this third base being completely halted for JF. He lost that shuttle, he lost lost both Reavers, he's lost all these Dragoons, so kind of pushing in, and he's really not been able to do anything but stop mining time briefly. So it looks like I feel like JF is now actually fell extremely far behind in this match. He does have the 4 gateways up. He's going to have to get that Citadel to Dune up, maybe try to get that Zealot speed a little bit sooner rather than later. Doesn't have a large army to continue with that attack, but and it looks like Vulture right there in position to deal with that probe should he venture